Last time on the Haymakers, things got a little bit heated between my colleagues DJ Calcos and Toon Critic, specifically regarding the Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar match at Summerslam. Insults were thrown, snide remarks were made, and the final outcome included both men walking out of the call, leaving me to wrap up the podcast by myself. Since then, SummerSlam has come and gone, and I was able to get in touch with both Toon and Calcos, and I was able to get them both back on the podcast. Because the way we see it, if the WWE aren't interested in giving Lesnar versus Taker a worthwhile finish, then obviously it's not worth getting too worked up in the first place. So with that said, hello everyone, my name is Nikki VMLP, and joining me today we have...
I'm sorry, Toon. This is DJ Calcos.
It's alright, Calcos. This is Toon Critic.
No, it's not alright!
You okay there?
No!
I
Someone give me some hot chocolate and a blankie. Okay, so anyway, we are here to review, recap/review SummerSlam, but we're also, of course, going to touch up on NXT Takeover Brooklyn because it was a very good pay-per-view, and we're also going to touch up on the Raw after because that Raw was fucking masterclass. So,
oh yes,
yeah, let's start with the first event of the WWE weekend, should I say, NXT Takeover Brooklyn.
If you can only watch one NXT event for the rest of the year, watch NXT Takeover Brooklyn, because that pay-per-view top to bottom, from Jushin Thunder Liger versus Tyler Breeze to Finn Balor versus Owens in the ladder match, every match on the card was excellent. Like, even ones you weren't expecting, like Corbin versus Joe, that one was solid. Like, way better than I thought it was going to be. Freaking great show from top to bottom.
Also, I hear that Enzo and Cass were there, but I don't know when. I was skipping through the pre-show and through the actual pay-per-view, and I'm like, what the fuck did I miss?
They were on the first match. They were a part of the first match, which was an 8-man tag match with the Hype Bros, Enzo and Cass versus Jason Jordan, Chad Gable, and the Mechanics. I have no idea who the fuck Mechanics are.
For me, the
Scott
first match
Dawson and
was
Cash
Jushin Liger versus Tyler Breeze.
Yes, but the first 4 matches of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn are this week's NXT.
Oh!
Yeah. And, yeah.
Okay.
The 8-man tag was there. Eva Marie versus Carmella was there. Bull Dempsey versus Elias Sampson was there. And Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Emma, and Dana Brooke were there.
Right.
Okay, first thing I want to touch up on, the first notable moment about NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, Blue Pants.
Blue Pants City!
That is how you debut a character that has no character. Okay, her entire gimmick is just based on the fact that she wears blue pants. And then they have the fucking Blake and Murphy along with their bitch. And their bitch decides to go to the Vaudevillains and be like, hey, you have no bitch. And then the Vaudevillains raise their hands, and then all of a sudden the Titantron has a 3-frame animatic of blue pants while Big Cass sings The Price is Right a cappella. And here she is, straight from the clearance rack! Oh my good god. The pop she got, though. The pop!
She is over as shit, and the Vaudevillains kind of by extension are over. Like, they were over pretty hard before. You combine the pop of the Vaudevillains plus the pop of Blue Pants, damn.
You probably have the best tag team on NXT right now at these two with the combined pop and stuff. I love the Vaudevillains. The Vaudevillains are a great, interesting little nod all the way back to like old school wrestling.
Like
I think this
20s.
is really cool getting this.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think that they were going to get the tag team titles while on NXT, because they were really close to the tag titles at one point, and then they just dropped. And I thought that they were eventually going to make their debut on the main roster, but then they pop up again and make another title run and lose a title match. And I thought, well, that was a fun run for them, I guess. Wait, they win!
Yay! So that was a notable thing, Blue Pants and Vaudevillains winning the title, but Guys, we cannot ignore match of the night, if not match of the weekend, and that is Bayley versus Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It was so freaking awesome to see Bayley overcome the odds in what is it, like a almost 20-minute match? The freaking women's division,
minutes.
the women's division gets a whole near 20 minutes to do one of the best women's matches I think I've ever seen.
Actually, a fun statistic, okay? I just checked the Meltzer ratings for the WWE weekend of SummerSlam and NXT Takeover. The highest rated match was a tie between Seth Rollins and Cena and Bayley versus Becky Lynch. Something happened, actually, this weekend. Bayley versus Sasha Banks is now the highest rated women's match in history at 4.5 stars, at least within the WWE by Meltzer.
Damn.
Wow.
4.5. That's the only thing that I think, the only part that I really didn't enjoy, at least not after the fact, was the insane poisoned Hurricane Rana at the very end.
I jumped up from my seat when I saw it. I'm like, oh shit, is she dead?
I saw the slow-mo on that. She hit her head. Her neck compressed.
Yep,
It's
the poison Frankensteiner, or the reversed Frankensteiner, if you want to call it, is one of those moves that you would have expected to be banned from WWE, because that shit can and will kill a dude.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that one thing, I think, when Lita dove through the ropes on a Trish that one match, and she just bent in half. I'm just it's like the same cringe-worthy sort of thing.
In the moment that it happened, though, I was like, oh my god!
That should have ended the match right there. I thought, yep, that's it. She's dead. It's over. New champion.
And then all four of them have the 4 horsewomen of NXT moment. Holy shit.
That's the Divas Revolution right there.
That is. They keep saying Divas Revolution on the main roster. There is no revolution. Everything's on limbo right now until they can figure it out. The actual Divas Revolution is happening with the women that were on NXT. Okay, and it only proves that it has nothing to do with the wrestlers, because people say the 2 greatest female wrestlers in the world were Lita and Trish Stratus. The 4 horsewomen of NXT, they can wrestle circles around Lita and Trish Stratus. The 4 best female wrestlers on the planet are them, and WWE has them all. And the fact that they're using them in this kind of a capacity on the main roster, I find quite insulting. So we're gonna have to wait and see how it works out, but honestly, it's not gonna.
But getting back to the good parts, the other great
there is no good parts. #Diva Revolution.
I meant at the match. The match, the match was fantastic. The curtain call at the end was great. The build-up was great. That promo, though, going into it, where they were basically talking about how they were the 4 horsewomen of NXT, but the other 3 not only had already made the jump, but for a while it seemed like those 3 were pretty much superior to Bayley. Charlotte was the prodigy. Becky Lynch was the world traveler. Sasha Banks was the one who was putting on matches of the night every single week. Bayley was kind of the one off to the edge. It felt like she was just I'm not degrading her abilities in any way, but she seemed like the 4th one.
This was the match to really put her to establish her. This was her proving match, I think.
Yes, and she did fantastically in this match. It was a good length, but it never felt drawn out. It was just...
Yes, and then Finn Balor and Kevin Owens happened. It was a ladder match.
Yeah, it was...
It was a good ladder match.
It was a good ladder match, but we only have so much time.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say, they kind of made Finn look a little too strong. Adrian Neville takes a pop-up powerbomb on the apron, he's out for 2 weeks. Sami Zayn takes a pop-up powerbomb on the ring apron, he's out for several weeks. Finn Balor
takes a pop-up powerbomb, he's out for 2 weeks.
Finn Balor takes a pop-up powerbomb, he's on the ground for 2 minutes. And then he's right back on the ladder.
Yeah,
well,
I think
from his perspective, probably it's just the whole demon inside him refuses to give up and shit.
Did commentary ever reference that, though?
Kayfabe-wise, though, he's that much stronger than Cena?
Yeah.
Damn.
I have a good feeling that they want Finn Balor to be the next Undertaker.
Nah, I can see that. The only thing that bugged me about this match, I think, was with Banks in the main roster and Owens in the main roster, it was pretty clear that Bayley was going to win and Finn Balor was going to win, because there's no point in giving them NXT gold if they're on the main roster, and that takes away from the suspension of disbelief. You know they're going to win, but you know it seemed at a few points they might have changed that. So
You know what? Yeah, that's true, but you could also say the same thing about Sami Zayn winning the title. Like when he said, "If I lose this match, I'm out," that was the sign. It was like, yeah, he's gonna win. He is going to win this match.
Yeah, a lot of the times the faces winning are telegraphed. If the heels win, it's kind of just like, oh shit, wow, okay. But when the faces win, you know it, and that's fine because it builds hype towards the face finally getting what they deserve. Okay, those big matches always have faces getting what they deserve. Mick Foley winning the title, Sami Zayn winning the title, CM Punk winning the title. Technically he was a heel, but let's face it, he was also a face at the same time. Daniel Bryan winning the title, Hulk Hogan retaining against Andre the Giant. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So I have no problem with that, because all it does is build excitement for when you finally get to see it.
right.
Mm-hmm.
SummerSlam!
Yay,
Now-
SummerSlam, biggest party of the summer. Da, 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 da. Well,
Now
I
on to the
find it
less
funny.
interesting one.
Yeah, I find it funny. We're kicking off the biggest party of the summer with Sheamus versus Randy Orton.
Can we... Okay, the match was solid. It is two very good workers going at it. The only problem with the match is that it was just kind of hard to care about the story. Next!
Yeah. New Day versus Primetime Players and Lucha Dragons and Los Matadors. Now, here's the match that really surprised me.
Yeah, well,
New Day wins. New Day wins and gets the titles back.
I figured at some point they were going to put the titles back on New Day because they're just too good to not have some gold on them. I would have figured that they might go after Ryback's Intercontinental title and freebird that shit, but okay, like that works.
Yeah, I think they recognize that New Day is the best tag team that they have, and they're giving them their due. I think that the New Day are going to be picking up the tag championships several times. I think they're going to be at least 5-time champions over the course of the next year and a half. Because they are the hottest tag team that WWE has seen since Team Hell No, to be honest. So I was not expecting them to win it, if only because I thought they were going to do the rotation period first, but no, they didn't. And honestly, I'm glad. They deserve it. They deserve to have it. They deserve to hold it. They deserve to win it multiple times. And man, New Day, as the thing is that they're heels, but they do their heel work so well in which I can enjoy them and boo them at the same time.
Yeah, they're getting a nice mixed pop from the crowd. You got some people, because lately I've been hearing for a while it was, New Day sucks, but I've been hearing a lot more New Day rocks chants in there,
especially at the Barclays Center and in front of a smarky crowd like Brooklyn. Yeah, that was definitely gonna happen. And you know what? They honestly deserve it way more than the Lucha Dragons do, because at this point, Lucha Dragons are all substance, no style.
Have they even said a word since coming up to the main roster?
Nope.
Yes.
Yeah?
They did, well, kind of. They did WWE.com interviews. I saw one where Kalisto was talking for most of the interview.
Because those totally matter.
Yeah, that's why I said sorta.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that the Primetime Players lost the gold. I think they'll probably end up chasing it for a while, but you know what? It's good. They got their chance to have the titles for a bit, so they can mark that off their bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, so what's the next match?
Next match was Ziggler and Rusev. Now, this one, to me, the ending is what kind of ruined it for me. I don't think that was supposed to happen.
I think Ziggler was supposed to make it back into the ring in time and get the win, but he stumbled and fucked up the ending, and it ended in a double countout, because that ending, that was just flaccid. Just
I don't know. I don't care.
I sort of care, because I think it would have made sense if Ziggler had won by countout, because then that would have kept the feud going. But now that it's double countout, okay, are we getting a stipulation match now, or What's going on here?
I don't know. All I know is that Rusev and Lana deserve better. Okay, they do.
And it would have kind of made sense because that's how. Remember back to Survivor Series? That's how Ziggler eliminated Rusev.
How does that connect in any way?
It's a similar ending. It would have been the same. Like, it would have ended in the same way as it did from the
Yes,
Survivor
this is true, but how does it further the story? What does it do?
Don't. Like, there is no...
The only way it's going to progress is if they finally get that intergender tag team match going on, which they probably will at Night of Champions.
I still don't care. Rusev deserves better, and so does Lana.
Agreed.
They both deserve better than this bullshit. Rusev is one of the best wrestlers on the roster, and Lana had the best female character in 2014, bar none. She had the best character. So this match upsets me for more reason than the match was just mediocre.
And you know what? We keep leaving him out. Ziggler deserves better too. Like, I know. I know Calcos is down on him, but like, I'm not gonna totally just give up on him after one flaccid rivalry. Like, this Rusev Lana Summer Rae bullshit is bullshit, but once he moves on to something else, because he was okay in the rivalry with Sheamus, like, that was all right.
That wasn't too bad. The thing is, though, with Ziggler, you can put him in just about any situation, and he'll make it look as best as he can. And I think that's great still. He's a great worker, he's a great wrestler, but the thing is, he keeps getting thrown into stuff that we don't care about, and he's trying his hardest just to make it work.
Yeah, and he's even acknowledged that this is kind of not working. Like, I think he said on Twitter that he's losing the fans.
You know what? Let's move on to Amel.
Yeah! My boy won! Woo!
Of course your boy won. Come on.
Actually, no. He didn't technically win. He didn't get the pinfall over Stardust, which upsets me, but whatever.
That doesn't upset me at all. Like, what does that do for him? Like, that's the thing, is that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I want Amel to get the pin because he's Stephen Amell. Look, I get that upsets you, but it makes so much more sense for Neville to get the pin.
Yeah, because he's going to be the one who shows up on Monday to further that, like, bump. You know what I mean?
Oh, I totally understand that. I'm just bummed that, like, Stephen Amell didn't get more to do.
He did a lot.
He did. He did that step up Enziguri, though.
That was cool.
Dude, his Enziguris are fucking awesome.
And I really wasn't expecting him to take that much of the offense. He got the crap knocked out of him, like, by both Stardust and Barrett. Like, they were both just laying into him for a while, and like, eventually, like, Neville got the tag in, or he was the legal man for like 70% of that match. Like,
yeah,
it was more than you would expect from a celebrity cameo.
All right, next match. Okay, now this is this one really didn't go anywhere, and I don't give a shit about. Ryback beat Big Show and Miz, as to be fucking expected. Next.
Yeah.
Okay, Wyatt family versus Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Yeah, so where's that heel turn we were talking about?
I don't know.
I did say that if it wasn't Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose, it would be somebody, and that eventually happened. So technically, I'm the closest to being right. Yay!
Fuck you two. Yeah, I definitely loved, though, that Brooklyn called out the ridiculously protective Roman booking. Like, Roman was outside on the apron for 3 minutes, and about 2.5 minutes, well, it wasn't 3 minutes, actually, it was longer than that. At least it felt longer. And near the end of it, and I know that this forced Roman to get back up and back into the ring. I know it did, but they just started chanting, "Roman sleeping!" And yes, please, more of that, please. Like, I know, I've said it before, I hate it when the crowd is hyped for themselves and only just wants to make themselves look good and get themselves over. But if the crowd is calling out something shitty, I more than welcome it. In fact, I encourage it. So, big props to the crowd for noticing that major flaw and pointing it out for everyone to see.
Like, people were talking kind of shit about how the fact that Dean hit his finisher and then he tagged in Roman to hit his finisher just to make sure Roman got his, like, moment in the sun.
Yeah.
But it's to me, it's just like, they're buddies. They both hate the Wyatts. They both want to beat the shit out of them. Like, Wyatt's down. You know what? Roman, get yours in.
It would have been better if Roman hit the spear and then Dean picked up the pinfall. No one would have been complaining there, but it just makes the spear look weaker, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I guess that's true.
Again, it goes back and forth to making Roman look unnecessarily powerful and making Roman look vulnerable. Like, they go back and forth on that, and it's really weird.
Well, I guess it's better than making him look like Superman all day, every day.
But he still hasn't been pinned once. That's the thing. You look through his entire career in WWE, I don't think he's ever been pinned clean, and that is a problem.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not one.
That is a little, I guess, confusing, disappointing, or whatever, because it's just, it feels a little bit like Cena, in a sense. Like, he's only ever going to lose, like, if cheating happens or whatever.
Yep, that's exactly the problem. People have said, like, the WWE says, why don't you like Roman Reigns? He's new. He's not Cena. And we're like,
he's Cena.
He is. He's
Stop
Cena with a different skin color and longer hair.
Speaking of Cena, though, Seth Rollins versus Cena in what is perhaps the most what the fuck...
No,
second
it
most
isn't.
what
No,
the fuck.
it's not what the fuck. It's definitely the most satisfying. I will say that.
It's second most what the fuck moment of the pay-per-view.
I'm marked out so hard!
Here's the thing. There's good, strange, out-of-nowhere booking, and there's bad, strange, out-of-nowhere booking. This was the good kind. Like, Jon Stewart heel turn out of nowhere. Like... I originally said that there was going to be somebody who interferes on the part of Ric Flair. I was not expecting it to be Jon fucking Stewart.
And I would have been like, you know what, that's fantasy booking. And people have been saying that since last year. Okay, people have been saying like, oh, somebody's going to interfere in his next title match. And nobody believed it. They would have been like, oh, that's a neat idea, but that's never going to happen. Spoiler alert, even though it didn't happen exactly as we would have planned it, it happened, and that's the most surprising part of all. Just the fact that it happened. And there have been people out there that have been saying that Rollins never got a clean win. It's stupid. Again, Super Cena reigns supreme.
Dude.
Super Cena is getting clogged on the head with floored concrete and then coming back to eliminate the last two members of the Nexus. Super Cena means he gets down and takes the pin. Okay? Not to mention, Seth Rollins is a slimy, manipulative, cocky, and here's the key word, heel. Unless you're a badass monster heel like Kevin Owens and Brock Lesnar, you are most likely going to cheat to win. The fact of the matter is, whether it was clean or unclean, Seth Rollins has done something that no other wrestler in history has done. No other wrestler has ever unified the United States title with the main championship. This is huge.
I figured it was going to happen, though, because it gives, like, another notch in Seth's belt. And the way that he did it, though, he looked good throughout the entire match. He had a good 20 minutes or so to dominate most of that match. He kept coming back and back. And also, can we please talk about what the fuck he was wearing?
White and gold, baby.
There was a trend that weekend with white and gold, wasn't there?
Yeah. I pointed that out on Reddit, and I got like 600 upvotes. It was crazy. Like, Bayley was wearing white and gold. The New Day were wearing white and gold. Rollins was wearing white and gold.
The Vaudevillains were wearing white and gold.
Yeah.
No. They were wearing blue and black, I think.
You fucked up the joke.
Damn it. Do you not know of memes?
Oh, yes, I do know of that meme.
Now
I do.
He gets it.
This is the guy who has been pushing it. His name is John Cena to the nth degree. Come on.
Bro, go to meme school and learn how to meme. Okay.
No, I do know. I hated that meme for a while, and I did not know that you guys were doing that. It just
okay. Look. If you know memes, quick question: where does the meme "pools closed due to AIDS" come from?
What the fuck?
See, you don't know your memes, but me, I've been interneting for 10 years. I know my memes. So now the pool is closed due to AIDS.
Yay.
And
Please tell me they meant, like, attendance.
It's an old as fuck meme from the Habbo Hotel raids of 2006.
Oh, wow. That's a while ago.
That was a fun time. Anyway, I think the last match is, other than the Divas match, let's please not talk about that.
Yeah, that did not go as epic as I thought it was going to be. Let's just slide that underneath the table real quick.
I will only say one thing about that. I was not expecting Becky Lynch to be the one who goes over in that match.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it would have been Charlotte.
Next match.
Yeah.
Next match. Let's
Okay.
ignore it. Let's ignore it completely. Next match.
Next match. Holy shit. Owens versus Cesaro. Owens put on one hell of a show. So did Cesaro.
Yeah.
This is how well, I don't know if they could have done it like this, but this is how Undertaker and Lesnar should have gone. Cesaro was dominating that match for large stretches. He had the offense going, and Owens came back and won. And look, both men ended up going over in the process.
Yeah.
Like, both men looked fantastic in this match.
Yeah, it was a good match. I just kind of wish it was for a title, to be honest.
Yeah, I felt like this type of caliber match definitely deserves like either United States or Intercontinental or something.
Yeah.
Right, next match.
Can we move on to
Pressing issue.
Fucking told you so.
Nope, stop. We're not getting into that because this, you know what? I'd accept it and move on if this ending didn't
not
feel
the ending
so...
I was expecting.
Yeah, this was, look, this is the WWE trying to make both look strong, but instead making everyone look like dumbasses. Okay.
Lesnar went to sleep. Taker tapped out. Both men lost this match as far as I'm concerned.
And the timekeeper is retarded.
And little Nate apparently doesn't know where to look for whenever somebody's tapping out.
Like, the thing is that I understand the dirty finish. This finish was not going to be clean by any stretch of the imagination. I almost accepted that the instant that this match was announced. However, if they wanted to do a dirty finish in this similar vein, they could have done a lot better, and it would have only taken small differences. Two examples I can think of off the top of my head. Brock Lesnar releases the hold and gets up because he felt Undertaker tap, but it was a small tap. The referee never mentioned it because MMA fighters are conditioned to go until the match is over. So he feels it a lot, and then he gets up and starts badgering the ref. He starts loudly saying, "Oh, I tapped," then the low blow, then the Hell's Gate, then the pass out. That is perfect. Paul Heyman also could have seen Undertaker tap out. Referee could have missed it. Paul Heyman would have been shouting at the referee, then shouting at the timekeeper. Then the timekeeper rings his bell because he's fucking nervous. And then low blow, then Hell's Gate, then we're done.
Yeah, I'll have to admit, despite it doesn't feel good to be right at the end of this, I'm not gonna lie, even though I want to rub it in Calcos' face, I don't feel right doing so, because even I'm like, okay, what the fuck happened?
Okay, I do want to say,
seven of
though,
the pick rights anyway.
This was a massive clusterfuck, and that's a fucking pity, because we got some cool moments out of this match, man.
Yeah,
Like,
we got the fucking Taker laughing at Lesnar shit.
Dude,
That was
mark out
amazing.
moment if I've ever seen one, man.
And the crazy part was, this wasn't just a suplex fest on the part of Lesnar. Like, think about
Thank God.
it. How many suplexes did he hit on Cena at last year's SummerSlam?
16.
Oh,
How
yeah,
many
16.
suplexes did he hit at Battleground against Rollins?
13.
How many suplexes did he hit against Undertaker here?
5.
5. That was it. He hit as many suplexes on Bo Dallas the night afterwards. Like,
By the way, my condolences to the Rotunda family. May he rest in peace. So we have Kofi Kingston and Bo Dallas. Who's next?
actually, you know that thing that they're talking about for Lesnar competing at Madison Square Garden?
Who's his opponent there again? I think
Bo
they announced
Dallas.
Bo Dallas
Are
against
you
the double
serious?
murder.
They're gonna resurrect the corpse of Bo Dallas and have him like shamble his way into the ring for another death session.
Come on, look, if you're gonna make Lesnar wrestle, make it be fucking worth it and not a squash match.
No, make it a squash
No.
match. Look,
You want to
Lesnar-
see Lesnar kill somebody. That is
you
cathartic.
really do. If it's something like this, you want to see Lesnar murder a motherfucker. Not to mention, Lesnar is a weird case in which just going up against him and not getting injured / just surviving in general means that you're awesome. In fact, Xavier Woods even complimented Kofi Kingston on this after the Beast in the East special in Japan. He said, you know what? You went up against the Beast and you survived. That's a win in my book. And you know what? It's a win in my book, too.
And it's Bo Dallas. He is like the one guy that is universally despised by the fans. Marks and marks alike. Everybody hates Bo Dallas. So it's kind of nice to see Bo Dallas, Mr. Believe, get his fucking shit pushed in by the Beast.
Never heard your voice go that high, Nikki.
Neither have I. I'm impressed. I kind of
No,
impressed
it's a
myself there.
shame. I would have really liked to have seen them use something different. Am I the only one who'd like to see maybe Lesnar versus Cesaro instead?
No, because that would have to. Well, that's the kind of
That's
match
a
that if you're putting.
WrestleMania match.
Yeah, given what Cesaro's stature is, no, I don't want to see a fair match, especially in a house match at Madison Square Garden. This is a pay-per-view match where Cesaro goes over Lesnar clean for like a big like that's bigger than a title, really, at this point. Like, you do that and you're unstoppable for a while. For a little while, at least. I mean, you can definitely have kayfabe injuries and all of a sudden Cesaro's not how he used to be. And you know what? That's pretty good booking. Makes Cesaro vulnerable even though he was able to beat the Beast. But at a house show, I'd want to see someone like Adam Rose get fucked. I'd want to see someone like Fandango get fucked. I'd want to see I'd want to see Zack Ryder get fucked. Or, oh my god, I can't believe I just thought about this. The Miz. I want to see The Miz get fucked up.
I just want you to know all of those the way you put all of those words are now on the internet forever. Enjoy that.
Okay.
DJ Calcos 2015. I'd like to see Adam Rose get fucked.
All right, fine.
Now we come to the Monday Night After, which, as I think we described it as a masterclass piece. I have to agree. So we have
Top shelf Raw.
That was a top shelf Raw, man. Holy shit. That is, like, if they can make every Raw like that, yeah, the product will come back.
They're not going to be able to replicate some of those things that happen, but yeah.
No, not every Raw is going to be as good as that one. Like I said, top shelf. I mean, if they can make every Raw like that, though, as in, like, quality-wise, yeah, that's a big deal.
Let's talk about probably the first big exciting thing other than DJ and let's talk about the first thing besides Bo Dallas getting murdered that night. Let's talk about what happened after New Day's match.
Okay, trombone was a nice touch. He's trying to. I love how he's playing taps when Kalisto was getting pinned.
Yeah, I love that.
Hey! Every legend needs a weapon. Mick Foley has the barbed wire baseball bat. Xavier Woods has a trombone.
Boo, 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 boo. The Dudley Boys are back!
Yeah, the Dudley Boys are fucking back. I jumped out of my seat. I'm like, what? And there they are, the Dudleys. Just like, holy shit. Is this 2003? No, it's 2015 and the Dudleys are back. Holy shit.
That was fucking insane. The only thing that worries me a little bit is just how they like to use their part-timers to go over other people instead of having other people go over the legends in order to further the main roster's prominence and make them look like stars. But you know what? Let's forget that all for a second because the fucking 3D'ing, table-busting badasses with stutters are back.
That pop, though, is one of the biggest pops I think I've heard from the crowd in ages.
Oh my god, that was so big, man. Like, again, it's a Brooklyn crowd. Very, very good crowd. So it was very good of them to bring back the Dudley Boys. Can
I also talk
Did you
about
just do
how
the
when
what's
they...
up?
No,
The
can I also talk... Can I also really quickly talk about how when they're like, Devon, get the tables, they didn't even need to say it. The crowd said it. A 3D'd Xavier Woods through a fucking table, and it looked beautiful.
Better than the freaking Reaper's attempt at it.
Yeah.
When Bubba Ray came back at this year's Royal Rumble and Devon didn't come back, I thought that was just going to be a one-time thing. Bubba Ray's come in for one more moment in the sun, do one more big pop moment involving he had to recruit R-Truth to be temporary Devon, but either way, it was still a pretty great moment.
He's black, Maggle!
The big thing worth mentioning is that now the Dudleys are back full time, and this is their last run up till WrestleMania.
This is full time?
Yeah, I've read a report that this is going to be they're back full time. They're back on the road.
Good.
Yeah, they're competing on SmackDown tonight.
Oh my god, this is fucking fantastic. Yeah, I think it's going to be their last run. They're going to go to WrestleMania. I'm almost certain that this is their Hall of Fame run, much like this is probably the Undertaker's Hall of Fame run.
Yeah. All I want to see are two things from this run. One, I want to see them put on good matches against the currents. I want them to make them look good. I want them to help build them up and establish some of the tag teams that we have right now. Also, I want to see the Dudleys get one last run with the titles. Just one. And then they pass it off to somebody else, and then they get their Hall of Fame induction.
I'm going to go ahead and call it. I think that they win the tag team titles before Survivor Series. They're going to win it pretty quickly, I believe.
Tag team Hell in a Cell, anybody?
That'd be pretty fun.
From the people that brought you the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match, we now bring you Tag Team Hell in a Cell!
Book it. I don't care, man. You put 5 people in a cell, all of New Day versus the Dudley Boys in a tag match. Yeah. Let's fucking do it.
Can we bring Spike Dudley back too?
Not really. Spike Dudley's been through a fucking lot. The Dudleys are lucky, much like Tommy Dreamer and Rob Van Dam, in which they didn't leave ECW with crippling,
in a body cast.
Yeah, crippling fucking injuries and massive mental problems.
They're still in good shape.
Yep, they're all still doing just fine. So I am very glad to see the Dusties, the Dudleys back, and I can't wait to see what they do with them moving forward.
Then another surprise came after with the SummerSlam rematch between Reigns and Ambrose and the Wyatts. So it looks like, we're going to have a repeat of last night. It's all's going well. Reigns is ready for the spear. Lights out. Come back on. And there's this big burly motherfucker with a black sheep mask.
Burly doesn't even begin to describe this man.
He is
huge.
6'8".
Oh my god.
6'8". The only people on the roster that are taller than him are Big Cass and Big Show and maybe Kane. That's it.
And I will be willing to bet you that his build weight is going to be somewhere around 375 pounds.
What about What about the guy who just won Tough Enough? What is his name? Josh?
Yeah.
Josh?
I want to really quickly take this second to talk about Tough Enough, and it's not going to be very long. Tough Enough came, it went, probably will not have any effect whatsoever on NXT or anything.
I'll be honest, I kind of wanted ZZ to win for 2 reasons. 1, Louisiana boy. Number 2, just to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
Just to watch this dumb
He was
contest.
this close to doing it.
I can respect that.
Just to watch this dumb contest come back and bite the WWE right in the asshole.
Well, it's probably going to anyway. Calcos, did you watch Tough Enough?
I have not watched a single solitary second of Tough Enough. And I plan to keep it that way.
I watched the first 2 episodes of it, and I was just like, washing my hands of this bullshit.
Yeah, I'm done. I didn't even watch it past the first episode. I just sat back and watched the results go by, and I put my pick down. Anyway, back to this, though. Braun Strowman, I believe, is his name.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling that he's going to be bodyguard / hitman for the Wyatt family, which is a good idea. It's something that the Wyatt family needs. And the Wyatt family continues to build slowly. It started with Battleground, with Luke Harper reforming, and now you have what the fuck is his name again? I know you just said it.
Braun
Strowman.
Braun Strowman. Sorry, I'm thinking it was Bro Stoneman.
Bro Stoneman.
I'm spoonerizing it for some reason, but it's Braun Strowman. And there's probably going to be a fourth member in a month and a half. We'll have to see, but this is a legit stable now.
I'm just thinking here, but isn't this about how long was Eric Rowan supposed to be out for? 4 to 6 months? Aren't we coming up on 4 to 6 months now? I think Rowan's coming back to the Wyatts. What else is he doing?
Fair. They would do good to put him back on the Wyatt family, and they could probably get another member from there. I mean, this is shaking up the Wyatt family and making them look like imposing threats. This is exactly what I wanted them to be.
Braun looks scary, though. Whatever move he was doing on either Reigns or Ambrose with that submission hold like that, holy fuck.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Braun Strowman is going to be winning some matches, and he is going to be winning them clean as a fucking whistle.
And let me just say, the guy looks like Mike Knox crossed with Snitsky plus about 100 pounds. The guy is massive and creepy and terrifying, and the archetypal Wyatt family member. And I'm really glad that they didn't actually show him on NXT, because if they would have showed him on NXT, it would have been that is the guy that's joining the Wyatt family. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. That I'm very much looking forward to the Wyatt family. They're back on the map. We'll see how it progresses from there.
Speaking of NXT guys who might be joining the Wyatt family, does anybody else think that Marcus Louise would be a great fit for the Wyatt family? Because he's the kind of guy who's broken that Bray Wyatt could fix.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah. Sami Zayn heel turn. He joins the Wyatts. Yeah, that would be
holy shit. That would be incredible.
I want to see Dudley's versus the Wyatts at one point, personally.
That's would be sick.
That's waiting to happen.
Yeah, even if it's not clean, who gives a fuck? Just put the Wyatts over. Have them win shit.
So after that, PCB versus the Bellas, they had this talk going on of Miz TV or whatever. Bellas won in a stupid fashion. And then we come to King Barrett and Stardust, and then Stardust just beat the shit out of Barrett and ran away, and then just that completely collapsed on itself.
That made me sad.
That's another 45 minutes of WWE programming down the drain.
Yep. Then we have Stewart coming out.
By the way,
to address why he did it.
He came out and said that he did it because he didn't want Cena to tie Ric Flair's record. And
Nikki called it.
Yeah. But then after that, Flair comes out and says, "John, you fucked up so hard, man. You have no idea how hard you just fucked up, man. I wanted Cena to win. What the fuck were you thinking?" You know what? That's the way that they prevent Jon Stewart from doing this the next time that John Cena has a world title match. Because if Flair would have been on board with Stewart, he would have just been okay, here we are at Hell in a Cell, John Cena versus Seth Rollins. Oh, and Stewart interferes again.
Yeah, I do kind of like it. I definitely love that Jon Stewart got involved. Also, Cena came out and cut a heel promo and then AA Jon Stewart, and the crowd was very happy about that.
Okay, kayfabe question of the night. How is it that Brock Lesnar is suspended for how many, 3 or 4 months for AA or for F5ing Michael Cole? But John Cena hits an attitude adjustment on Jon Stewart, and odds are he's going to be on the next Raw.
You have a question, I have an answer. The difference between John Cena AAing Jon Stewart and Brock Lesnar F5ing Michael Cole is that Brock Lesnar continued after he was told to stop. That's why he got suspended. It's because Stephanie told him, stop, enough is enough, and Brock Lesnar dismissed that. That is why he was suspended.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Kayfabe!
Kayfabe is saved. Well done.
Next match they had after was Ziggler, Cesaro, Ryback, and Orton versus Show, Sheamus, Owens, and Rusev, and the faces go over clean.
Yay, next match.
Next match.
I did like how afterwards, like, Big Show was kind of turning on everyone. And Kevin Owens was like, I've loved you since I was 13 years old, and you're going to do this to me? That is the best way to get heel heat. Proclaim that you're a Big Show, Mark. Like,
yeah, pretty much. Okay, so this moment right here, if this Raw is like a cake, you have your cake mix, which is the Dudleys returning. You have your frosting, which is Jon Stewart getting AA'd by John Cena. This moment right here is the cherries that surround the cake that adds just a nice little flourish to an already pretty solid package. Toon, please explain what happened.
All right. So they were building up throughout the whole night that, Seth Rollins is the man. He's going to get this statue in his honor. They showed the statue, and here he is at the main event. They have the box sitting there, and Rollins is cutting this long-ass promo. 3 things come to mind. 1, the statue is actually of Triple H, and Triple H is going to just turn on Rollins. 2, it's Cena underneath because he got kicked out. Why the fuck not? Or there's no statue at all. It was all ruse. Which is kind of what number 1 is. But no! From the box comes Sting.
that's not Sting, it's a statue of Sting!
That was surprising, man. Sting was in there for 18 minutes and 20 seconds. He must have been sweltering, though, because the top part of his face paint was gone because he must have been rubbing his forehead trying to get rid of sweat. But that moment was one of those. That was 1997 WCW. Like, if you're going to use Sting, do that, because that is what Sting is all about. He's all about just popping up when you least expect it without warning. And
He's the boogeyman done right.
yeah, very much so. Very much so, I think.
That you could tell during Seth's long ass promo that Steph was kind of hurrying him along. As the moment he started talking about the Brooklyn Nets, you could see Steph going, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. There's a guy underneath here and he's dying.
But now this presents something interesting. This presents us with Seth Rollins defending the WWE and possibly United States Championship against Sting.
He's not defending both against Sting.
Well, no, I'm just saying, possibly. You never know what the WWE
No, it's
might
already
say.
been billed. He's going after just the WWE Championship.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Never mind that.
this kind of confirms to me that Rollins, between now and Night of Champions, is probably going to drop the United States Championship to somebody. Maybe there will even be an open tournament for the U.S. Championship at Night of Champions, because since every title is going to be on the line, and Rollins isn't going to be defending it, it has to be defended by someone, so he's probably going to drop the U.S. title.
Oh, shit, that's good logic. Maybe the billing was wrong. Maybe he is defending both titles. Maybe they are unifying it.
That would suck then if they got rid of the United States Championship then.
Yeah,
because
given all of the work that they've been doing to build the title up. That's weird.
Yeah, I like it when there's two mid-card titles, and ever since Rusev picked up the title, hell, when Sheamus won the United States title, because Sheamus has been a legit, like, one of the big guys in the company for a while. Ever since Sheamus picked up the U.S. title, it's meant a little more than the Intercontinental title, and if they were to just retire it, like, out of nowhere, that'd be weird. I don't like it.
I really don't know, but we're gonna have to wait and see. It is possible that Sting will win the championship, which, as far as nostalgia goes, is great, because Sting, like, Sting is definitely an anomaly in the WWE, because hasn't been there his entire career. He's there now. I imagine they want to give him an accolade. I'd prefer it be a mid-card title, but if they want to jump up to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship just to give him that mark, maybe.
I'm not okay with that, honestly.
Yeah.
If Rollins is going to drop the WWE Championship, he'll drop it in a fucking fantastic match, not to a part-timer. That, to me, if you're going to drop the title to somebody, it should be somebody who's there all the time, who can defend it proudly. Cool, you're giving it to Sting. Cool. That's one accolade he's never had. I'll probably go into the Hall of Fame with that. Good for him. But now is not the time to do it. Not when Rollins is going to probably drop it to somebody who deserves it.
No, you're right.
It's
And
like what they did with Punk and The Rock, and that still pisses me the fuck off.
That
they
pisses
gave it to The
everyone
Rock.
off.
And on top of that, they have been having Rollins go after, or he's defended the title against all of the big guys. He defended it against Ambrose. He defended it against Orton. He defended it against Lesnar. He defended it against Cena. You get my point. He's defended against all these big guys. And I feel like Sting is another one of those big guys.
Somebody he's already gone against Cena. He's already gone against Lesnar. So why not Sting?
Yeah, and Ambrose and Orton. So
and then he can retain it. He can retain it in a screwy fashion, which is cool. Gets him over as a heel.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that he probably has left to do after Sting is face Triple H for that championship and then somehow win over that. And then after that, then he loses to somebody.
Man, I cannot wait until Seth Rollins goes face. Dude.
It'll be interesting.
Like they want Roman Reigns to be the face of the company. Honestly, it should be Rollins. Rollins is better in every way, shape, and form. He acts better. He talks better. He wrestles better. He carries titles better. He is just better overall in every single way, and everybody loves him or hates him. He's not ignored. He's not passive. He is right now the full face of the company, and it doesn't matter how much they want to try to push Reigns or anybody else. Rollins has his spot, and they will never ever get Roman Reigns up to that kind of a level in any time frame that is recent. They need to pull the trigger on Rollins, man. They need to keep building him up. Somehow, I don't know exactly how far you can go. They need to have him abandon the authority and make him go face. Not now, not right this second, but they do.
They're just having him get all of his matches with the faces out of the way while he's still a heel. He'll go against Sting. Hell, he might even have a match against Cesaro. How fucking amazing will that be?
Dude, but fucking 5.5 stars right there.
Shit, I want Cesaro to take the title off of him. That's my pick.
Dude, yeah. Okay. Let Seth Rollins hold the main title until WrestleMania. If they're not unifying the United States title, he can drop that somewhere else. Let's have Cesaro win the Royal Rumble and let that main event WrestleMania, please. Yes, I will buy 10.
No, the thing is, with Seth Rollins, how interesting things have been with him since he split off and did his own thing. How his storied path has been going up from Money in the Bank to WrestleMania to now. This is how you do character development. This is how you make a character look good. This is how you build them up from being a slimy Money in the Bank guy to champion to going higher and higher and higher. You're building him up. You're making him look great. The reason they're doing this is the reason that I'm freaking wearing a Seth Rollins t-shirt. And I haven't bought a wrestling t-shirt in a long time. I'm supporting Seth Rollins with this fucking t-shirt. That's how much I'm into him as a character and how they're making him look on TV. In championship matches, the way he wrestles. I am a Seth Rollins bar, and I am proud of that, honestly.
Zach didn't sell out. He bought in.
Exactly. I fucking bought it. $25, bitch. Worth it.
I need to buy a Seth Rollins t-shirt, but
we all need to buy Seth Rollins t-shirt.
Well, okay, here's the thing. All three of us need to support those wrestlers that really deserve it. I think
I just bought a Cesaro shirt.
Then who should I buy it from? Because you have Zach has
Owens.
Seth Rollins. Owens?
Well, I already have an Owens one too.
You know what? I'll buy the Cesaro one because that one caught my eye.
Yeah, that's a good looking shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what Seth Rollins is kind of reminded me of right now? JBL.
I was just thinking that.
Wow, that's a good point.
Yeah, JBL, back when he was the WWE Championship, back on SmackDown around WrestleMania 21, when he was beast moding through everyone, and every single championship defense he had was in a dirty finish, and it made him look like such a dirty, greasy heel, and it made him look so he was not afraid to look like a total shithead.
Yeah, his matches with Eddie, his matches with Undertaker, hit that fatal 4-way at Armageddon with Eddie and Booker T and Undertaker.
Did you see the GIF that popped up on the subreddit of how he beat the Big Show at No Way
that
Out?
was hilarious.
Yeah, I remember that too. JBL was one hell of a heel champion, and everybody bought into it and believed it.
And Seth Rollins is the exact same way. He's got people people watching his back. He's winning in dirty ways. He's a smug son of a gun, and he's awesome at it. He is so good at this. The only difference between the two is that Seth Rollins could make JBL his bitch in the ring.
Oh, yeah, there's no question. Rollins is the superior wrestler. Rollins knows how to make things look great.
Yeah,
to be fair, most of the roster today could out-wrestle, like, all of the roster of 2005, mostly.
Let me rephrase. Like, Seth Rollins will still pull out moments where you go, oh, wait, I forgot. He's the best wrestler in the world right now. Like, find me 3 more. Find me 3 wrestlers in the world that are better than Seth Rollins.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Owens?
No.
No, definitely not Owens. I think Cesaro.
Cesaro. Okay.
No, grant you Cesaro. Give me one more.
Bailey.
Actually, if you would have said that, I would have gone with Sasha Banks.
To be honest, you can't really compare and say that they're all better, though, because they're all fucking fantastic. And the WWE product, with all of its ups and downs, has, since WrestleMania 31, been something that I'm willing to support. And that is something that I haven't said ever.
Yeah. Like, when my Cesaro shirt comes in, I will have bought 2 shirts from the WWE. That has never happened before.
I bought one. I've only bought one. I bought a Randy Orton shirt, and I kind of want to get another one just so that way I can say that I own something other than a fucking Randy Orton shirt.
Yeah. Me, Daniel Bryan shirt, and a Seth Rollins shirt.
One of you motherfuckers needs to supply me. Somebody that's listening to this cast, I urge you, I beg of you, cleanse me from this torment and buy me that red Cesaro shirt, please.
If you want to support us on Patreon, go to patreon.com.
No, fuck you. Just send it straight to my PayPal. Just message me on Twitter or something. Just do it.
Thanks
Give Calcos all the money.
Give me $30 so I can get a t-shirt. I want to...
Okay, I think we can wrap things up here.
Side note, it's perfectly okay if you don't send me money. I am just joking.
So we've been doing this for a while, and I think now's a pretty good time to close it. So, yeah, one last question for us to just wrap this up, just real quick. What was the best event of that weekend? NXT
Takeover Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I personally thought you meant like which individual match, in which I was going to say Bayley versus Sasha. But if you're asking for an entire thing, whether it's between NXT Takeover Brooklyn, SummerSlam, or the Raw after, yeah.
Here's the sign of how you know that Brooklyn is the best one. They closed off the upper balconies of the Barclays Center and only opened up the 9,000 seats in front because that's how much they thought that they could sell. But those 9,000 tickets sold out so fucking quickly, and demand was so high that they were forced to open up the upper balconies. And as it turns out, all 15,000 seats in the house were sold. Could you imagine something like that happening during the time of NXT Takeover Revolution last December? No, you can't. And that is how Takeover Brooklyn is the best event. It broke records. It broke ground. I mean, the developmental section of a wrestling federation sold out the Barclays Center.
They were like 125 people away from having more attendees than fucking SummerSlam. SummerSlam's attendance, 15,702. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn's attendance, 15,589.
When you ask us what our favorite event was, TakeOver Brooklyn, WWE SummerSlam, or the Monday Night Raw after, I can't give you an honest answer. Like, my answer personally is TakeOver Brooklyn, but objectively speaking, you can't. You wrap up all 3 of those events in a tight, pretty little bow, and you open it up like a Christmas present, because the whole weekend was stellar, I thought. I thought that weekend was one of the most entertaining wrestling weekends ever. And even though it had its hitches, well, when you have 9 hours of entertainment, not everything can go right.
You know, and I'll give you that. I will give you that. I'll say NXT Takeover Brooklyn then as well.
I seriously can't believe we're talking this high about WWE, considering what we were talking about 6 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, after, like, all you have to do is go back and look at our videos, like our reaction video to this, our reaction video to the Royal Rumble, our predictions cast for Fastlane. We were dead inside.
And then it all came back together.
They turned a shit sandwich into a turkey club, man, with WrestleMania 31.
See y'all later.